Perfect. Let's just deal with perfect. How are we all doing, everyone? Just deal with perfect. How are we all doing, everyone? Just deal with perfect. How are we all doing, everyone? Just deal with perfect. How are we all doing, everyone? Just deal with perfect. How are we all doing, everyone? Just deal with perfect. Perfecto, ready to go. How are we all doing, everyone? Just this is brilliant. Right. Perfecto. Perfect. Right, welcome to the stream, everyone. We are getting ready for Aston Villa against Everton. Very, very excited about this one. Villa are obviously aiming to try and narrow the gap at the top of the Premier League, which would be interesting to see if they can do that. Right, Everton, on the other hand, they are currently struggling a bit under David Moyes. They haven't had the best against Everton. There's no better place to go than to Villa are trying and narrow the gap at the top if they are able to do that. It would be interesting to see if they can do that. I'm sure they will. Everton, on the other hand, they are currently struggling a bit under David Moyes. They haven't had the best against Everton. There's no better place to go than to Villa are trying and narrow very trying to see if they are able to do that. It would be interesting to see if they can do that. I'm sure Everton, on the other hand, they are currently struggling a bit under David Moyes. So let's see what happens. There's no better place to go than to Villa are trying and very trying to see if they are able to do that. It would be interesting to see if they can do that. I'm sure Everton, on the other hand, they are currently struggling a bit under David Moyes. So let's see what happens. There's no better place to go than to Villa are trying and very trying to see if get your school, start getting school predictions and comments. I'm sure Everton, on the other hand, I'm actually a bit unfortunate. I don't want to see what happens. There's no better place to go than to Villa are trying and very trying to see if get your school, start getting school predictions and very well. I'm sure Everton, on the other hand, I'm actually a bit unfortunate. I don't want to see what happens. There's no better place to go than their incentives at the end, but they start getting school predictions and very well. This Everton team, I'm actually a bit unfortunate. I don't want to see what happens. There's no better place to go than their incentives at the end, but they start getting school predictions and very well. This Everton team, I'm actually a bit unfortunate. I don't want to see what happens. There's no better place to go than their incentives at the end, but they start getting school predictions and very well. This Everton team, I'm actually a bit unfortunate. I don't want to see what happens. There's no their essentially at the end but this Everton team I'm actually on about this Everton team I'm actually on about but as I say, get the school pitches in the chat. Very excited to see what everything's taking this one. I am pretty confident about Aston Villa. But we will see. But as I say, get the school pitches in the chat. Very excited to see what everything's taking this one. I am pretty confident about Aston Villa. But we will see. But as I say, get the school pitches in ready to rock and roll then. Ready to rock and roll at Villa Park. 4:30 kickoff, it's a bit unfortunate. This doesn't really but we will see. 4:30 kickoff if I'm honest. I would have called the team, but as I say, get actually this being 12:13. Ready to rock and roll then. Ready to rock and roll but at Villa Park. 4:30 kickoff, it's a bit unfortunate. This doesn't really but we will see. If I'm honest, I would have called the team, but as I say, get actually which is it's never a good one. Ready to rock and roll then. Ready to rock and roll but at Villa Park. 4:30 kickoff, it's a bit unfortunate. I'm this doesn't really but we will see. If I'm honest, I would have called the team, but as I say, get actually which is it's never a good one. Ready to rock and roll then. Ready to rock and roll but at Villa Park. 4:30 kickoff, it's a bit unfortunate. I'm this doesn't really but we will see. 5 minutes that about until kickoff. How really but as I say, get how are we which is never a good one. Yeah, 3 was ready to rock and roll then. It's a huge opportunity, absolutely huge opportunity to try and narrow the gap on the league and potentially 5 minutes that about until kickoff. How really but as I say, get how are we which is never a good one. So yeah, 3 was ready to rock and roll then. It's a huge opportunity and absolutely huge opportunity to try and narrow the gap in the league and potentially 5 minutes that about until kickoff. How really but as I say, get how are we which is never a good one. So yeah, 3 was ready to rock and roll then. It's a huge opportunity and absolutely huge opportunity to try and narrow the gap in the league and potentially 5 minutes that about until kickoff. How really but as I say, get how are we which is never a good one. So yeah, 3 was ready to rock and roll then. So yes, get your score predictions in the chat, everyone. Everyone get the score predictions in. I am and please that's just me. That's what that. Yes, get your score predictions in the chat, everyone. Everyone get the score predictions in. I am so get your score predictions in. That's just me. As I say, I am that was really yes, get your score predictions in the chat, everyone. Everyone get the score predictions in. So get your score. Everyone get the that's just me. Everyone as I say, I and Everton as well. That was really they are in this. Yes, get your score predictions in the chat, everyone. Everyone get the score predictions in. So get your score. Everyone get the that's just me. Everyone as I say, so and Everton as well. That was really they are in this. Yes, very interesting in the chat. Everyone get the score predictions in. As we can see here, get your everyone get the that's just me. Everyone as I say, so and Everton as well. Right, Rogers in the team, and Everton Armstrong starts. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton Armstrong starts. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton Armstrong starts. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton teams coming out. Everton one of their last 6. Doesn't bode well for them. I'm not confident. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton I do. Teams coming out. Everton one of their last 6. It doesn't bode well for them. I'm not confident. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton I do. Teams coming out. Everton one of their last 6. It doesn't bode well for them. I'm not confident. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton I do. Teams coming out. Everton one of their last 6. It doesn't bode well. Problem is, I'm not confident. Right, roll Rogers in the team, and Everton I do. Teams coming out. Everton one of their last 6. It doesn't bode well. Problem is, I'm not confident. Right, well, as I say, everyone, let's get the score predictions in the comment section. I'm looking in for a 3-2 win, just in case there's too much teams coming out. Everton one of 4-6. It doesn't bode well. Problem is, I'm not confident. Right, well, as I say, everyone, let's get the score. So, Villa in the comment section. I'm looking in for a 3-2 win, just in case there's too much teams coming out. Everton one of 4-6. It doesn't bode well. Problem is, I'm not confident. Well, as I say, everyone, let's get the score. So, Villa in the comment section. I'm looking in for a 3-2 win, just in case teams coming out. Everton one of 4-6. We've had a mental problem so far in the Premier League. Absolutely challenging. As I say, everyone, let's get the score. So, Villa in the comment section. I'm looking in for a 3-1. That match is just in something. Huge opportunities for teams coming out. Absolutely. We've had a mental problem. I'm a Chelsea fan in the Premier League. As I say, everyone, let's get the score. So, Villa in the comment section. I'm looking in for a 3-1. That match is just in something. Huge opportunities for teams coming out. Villa title chance coming. Yes, I do. We've had a mental problem. I'm a Chelsea fan in the Premier League. I think they are. As I say, everyone, let's get the score. So, Villa in the comment section. I'm looking for a 3-1. That match is just in something. Huge opportunities coming out. Villa title chance coming. Yes, a lot of people. I do. We've had a mental problem. I'm a Chelsea fan in the Premier League. I think they are. As I say, let's get the score. So, who do I spot? I spot Arsenal, mate. So, Villa for this. If buts maybe. Yes, a lot of people. That's all I do. We've had a mental problem. I'm a Chelsea fan. I know what you mean. I think they are. As I say, let's get the score. Who do I spot? I spot Arsenal, mate. So, Villa for this. Right, Grealish back to Villa first. If buts maybe. Such a yeah, a lot of people. That's all I do. I know what you mean. I
think they are a chance.
Who do I spot? I spot Arsenal, mate. So Villa
Right, Grealish back to Villa first.
if that's maybe too much of a
I know you do it. I think they are a chance.
Who do I spot? I spot Arsenal, mate. So Villa
Right, Grealish back to Villa first.
if that's maybe too much of a
I know you do it.
Start that off. Okay, hopefully for people watching on YouTube that's better. Right, so Villa have literally 20 seconds in just hit the post. Oh no, it's Everton, sorry. Ooh. I'm not sure who that was. He scuffs it and it just hits the inside of the post. Oh, Villa have got away with one there. Straight away, Everton right up the end. If you're watching on YouTube, please let me know in the comment section if that's fixed the audio. I'm sorry about it. We've had some weird issue where there was like relays. Strong start by Everton there. Blooming hell. Very, very strong start. Seems to be a somewhat humble Arsenal fan. I'll give you that, mate. Thank you so much. I try my best. As a lot of people who know me will know, I'm not the biggest fan of our fan base myself. I do find them incredibly frustrating, but unfortunately that's the hand we've been dealt by certain platforms online. I just think it's good to not raise expectations, let's say. Right, here come Everton. Grealish on the left wing. Mikalenko making the overlapping run. Gets that ball in. Easy claim there for Martinez. But a strong start here for Everton. They have come out of the blocks, hit the post within 20 seconds, and they will be feeling as though they can get at this Villa team. That's one thing you can say. Defensively, you are able to get at Aston Villa. It's just going forward where they look so deadly, and I don't think this Everton defence has the potency to be able to deal with the likes of Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers and Buendia, as Arsenal know perfectly well. Right. So yeah, actually, major talking point, I know I keep bringing it up, get your comments in. Do you think that Jack Grealish, the current Jack Grealish, would start for this Aston Villa team if he'd stayed? I am of the opinion that I don't think he would. That I don't know if that's a crazy thing to say. I just don't think he would. I think they're a better team now. Obviously he never played in a team at Villa this good. Right, they've gone long. Tarkowski deals with that, but only as far as Rogers. And Maatsen can pick it up on the left. Although Patterson does very well there, just to shepherd it out. But only as far as Yuri Tielemans. Yeah, if you look at it, when they sold him, 100 million, I need to start the clock. I've just realised, what am I doing? What are we doing? Right, we're 2 minutes in. 03.00, perfect. Save changes, start clock. Perfect. Right, we'll be a couple of seconds behind. Unless I've actually just nailed that. I don't know. Yeah, thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about Grealish? When they sold him, £100 million, was he worth that much? No. It was probably the English tax, if we're all being honest. The likes of Maguire we've seen go for that much money, who definitely is not worth £80 million. Although yesterday, blimmin' hell, we'll get onto the Manchester derby in a minute. Yesterday he was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I was really, really impressed by what I saw by him. Yeah. When they sold him £100 million, he didn't really hit the ground running at City. In their treble season, he was incredibly influential, wasn't he? But apart from that, just doesn't hit the ground running. It was a very strange signing for Pep Guardiola. I believe he was just signed because they wanted to stop. I know, it's just like City trying to have a monopoly on the league. But here is Buendia early on. Lays it back for Rogers, who skies it over the bar. Big chance there for Aston Villa. He'll be kicking himself. He's just leaning back a bit too much. It's a great, great ball there by, I believe that's Victor Lindelof. Over the top to find Buendia, who cuts inside, lays it off for Rogers, and he just skies it over the crossbar. That's a poor finish. That is a very, very, very poor finish. But it gives Everton a chance to clear their lines up to Barry, who, I've got to be honest, I didn't know that much about before he signed for Everton. I knew he was at Villarreal. I don't think he's had the biggest effect on this Everton side. He's a good hold-up. I'll say that. He holds the ball up well. Yeah. Can we have a maths debate? What sort of maths debate are we looking to have? That is straight to Pau Torres. Martinez clears the ball. So Everton looking to get into the top 10, which I think this season, I don't know how everyone else feels. I think that they do deserve to be in the top 10. I mean, there was times this season where I thought they potentially could have got European football. That might be a crazy thing to say, but I think that, their stadium is worth European football. I think it's a strange one. Moyes is obviously coming towards the end of his career as a manager. I wouldn't be surprised if within the next couple of years we see him retire. They need to sort of start to build a team that is capable of challenging for Europe. And I think with the likes of Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, they have players of that potential who are able to help them challenge for Europe. But they need a better manager. Yes, Moyes got West Ham, won the Conference League, obviously. But I think moving forward for the foundations of Everton becoming a European club again, I think they need a new manager. When will you live again after this? Well, mate, that's a very good question. I am currently sitting on the fence with something. So Tuesday night, Arsenal are obviously in action against Inter Milan, and they are playing in Milan. So that is one avenue where we go live. But at the same time, that night, I'm also tempted to go and watch Oxford United take on Queen's Park Rangers in the Championship. A lot riding on that one. Oxford drew 0-0 with Bristol this weekend, and QPR drew with Stoke. And QPR, although here's Rodgers in a really good position, tries to get past. It's cleared out by Everton. Just couldn't sort his feet out. Where was I? We were saying, yes, so QPR need to try and get into the playoffs this season. They've sort of fallen down the table a bit, a couple of poor results since Christmas, but still, it's very congested in the Championship. Oxford, though, they really need to start picking up some points to get out of the relegation zone, because apart from Sheffield Wednesday, who are still in negative points, they are the worst side in the division. So I think either I go to that, or we go and do a live stream for Inter v Arsenal. I haven't quite decided yet, but we will think about that at the start of this week. Right. Thoughts on Arsenal FC? Okay, I'm just not bothering with that. Ooh, that's a very, very high boot there, Armstrong. That looked like it could go straight. Did he catch his face there? It's a high boot. No, he pulls out just in time. That was a very, very high boot there from Armstrong. Nearly takes Cash's face off. But, by the way, let's just talk about the standard of officiating in this division for a second, because that's always a brilliant, brilliant topic, and you've got to get your comments in here, because I'm really interested to see what everyone else thinks. Dallo, yesterday, how on earth VAR looked at that and thought wasn't a red card is absolutely beyond me. I was obviously in a mood for United to keep 11 players on the pitch, wanted City to lose, and I'm very happy they did. But that was unbelievable. How he stayed on the pitch was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Nuts. And then obviously we had the supposedly controversial handball. McGinn tries to play that over the top. It's just going to run straight through to Pickford. Supposedly controversial handball of Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. God, that was a dreadful match to watch. I was gutted last night. Absolutely gutted. Huge opportunity. Everton are giving that away though. Here is John McGinn on the right flank. Finds Tielemans, who's moving forward. Can he pick out the pass? Matty Cash on the left-hand side, although he loses that. They'll go out for a Villa throw-in just outside the 18-yard box. So, 10 minutes in, Everton hit the post within 20 seconds. They have looked the most likely so far. Villa haven't really created. I mean, they had one good opportunity. Morgan Rogers absolutely skied it over the bar, which was poor from him. But, yeah. Although they played a great ball here. Here's Buendia. Pulls it back for Ollie Watkins. Tries to get past Tarkowski. Tarkowski does really well. Out in as far as Tielemans. Here's John McGinn. They seem to have like a really good set of players here, Villa. I know that sounds like a stupid thing to say, but as in Bogard, for example, wouldn't be a first starter, and yeah, he comes in and does a really good job. Rogers, nice interplay there with Buendia, and Buendia as well. Like, who remembers him at Norwich? Right, Pickford saves that shot from Maatsen. Pretty tame effort there from the left back. Doesn't really catch hold of it, just rolls straight through to Pickford, though it's helped by a deflection by James Tarkowski. Right. Everton just need to try and get a foothold in this match, I feel. Just try and get a foothold. So yeah, where were we? Officiating. How Dalot wasn't sent off was beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. That was a certain red card. Studs to the leg. I mean, he's a very, very lucky one. The penalty at Nottingham Forest, that was not a penalty. And I'm an Arsenal fan. I do get what he means, as in he has gone to like hook the ball with his arm, but at the same time, like, it's his midriff, so I don't think you can really. I don't know. I don't think you can really give that as a penalty because there's not really, I guess, adequate just cause, let's say, adequate evidence that it's his hand that's caused the movement from the ball. Right, here's Ezri Konsa. Villa just sort of taking their time at the back. He's being absolutely hounded though by Armstrong. Can he? He's just taking him out. Just taking him out. Ezri Konsa as well. I think he should be starting at the World Cup. I do. I think John Stones, I'd take, obviously, for the experience. I don't think he'll start because he's been injured for quite a long period. But at the moment, my starting centre-back duo would actually be Ezri Konsa and Harry Maguire. I know that's a strange thing to say. I always think Harry Maguire should go to the World Cup. I actually think he's been pretty decent. Cash has done really well there. He's won that. Although Dwight McNeil takes it off him. That is a very, very good challenge there by the Everton right winger. Here is Jordan Pickford. Is James O'Brien. Finds Armstrong. Grealish just being hounded here by McGinn. Everton can't seem to get out here. They can't seem to be able to clear their lines, although McGinn does really well there to shepherd that out for a throw-in. Everton under the cosh. 15 minutes in, or 13 minutes in. Oh, he's got his collar up. I'm not too sure about this Everton away kit, by the way. And what colour are we saying? It reminds me of a goalkeeper kit. McGinn's gone down with an injury here. He's feeling his knee. Doesn't look very promising. Obviously, he went off injured at the Emirates a couple of weeks ago. I think he had a knee injury there as well. No, he came on at the Emirates for Onana, who's still out injured, but McGinn came on, was it against Palace? Can't remember, but he's definitely had a knee issue at some point in the season. He's definitely had a knee issue. Right. Just showing that Armstrong's unlucky there. He doesn't catch it that well. And it just ricochets off the inside of the post. That was, of course, 20 seconds in. Since then, Everton haven't really had a real cutthroat opportunity, but McGinn looks in some pain here. He is struggling to walk, and the ref is trying to get him off the pitch. And it looks as though we are going to see a substitution, and that will be the end of the Villa captain's afternoon. It's unfortunate for him, but of course, with Scotland going to the World Cup, he will want to be in tip-top shape, and I don't think he'll want to risk any sort of inflammation or serious injury. So Villa are going to make the change. They're currently playing with 10 men. Konsa's done well there to win that from Grealish. And can Barry hold that one up? No, he can't. Konsa gets there. Tielemans plays a beautiful little ball to Buendia, who spreads it out wide now to Pau Torres. Villa going to start the build from the back. No, they're not. Just going to slow it right down again. Here is Maatsen. I like Ian Maatsen. Him at Dortmund a few years ago was phenomenal. You know, I watched the highlights of that Champions League final. Was it Dortmund-Madrid at Wembley 2024? How Dortmund didn't score in that game. It was just unfortunate. It really was. Adeyemi should have gone the other way. Fulkrug hitting the post. I mean, could have had a very, very different outcome. Right. Martinez launches that one long. That will be a foul for Everton. Watkins shoving Tarkowski to the ground. And Gesson is going to be making his way onto the pitch for the Aston Villa captain. So I presume that means we will see Ezri Konsa take the armband? I'm assuming. Not too sure. Yeah, Gesson on. Obviously away with the Ivory Coast during AFCON, but is now back. It's actually the AFCON final today. Senegal up against Morocco. That will be a brilliant game. Cash tries to head that back to Martinez, who has to parry it out for a corner. Sort of caught the keeper unawares. Everton have a corner then. 18 minutes in, Barry wins the header. Cash just goes to head it back to Martinez. What is he doing? Gets the header all wrong, and Martinez has no other option really because the Everton player was quickly closing in. But 18 minutes in, Everton have a corner. James Garner's going to swing this one in. It'll be an in-swinger, of course. Right-footed. See if Barry, Tarkowski, O'Brien can get their heads on this, or even just Armstrong. Armstrong's quite a tall dude. Ball comes in. Back post. Tarkowski can't get on it, and Maatsen thumps that long. And Villa can clear their lines. It will be a draw like all the other games this weekend. Well, in a totally selfish way, I really hope you're right. I really, really hope you're right. Unfortunately, I just can't see it that way. I think Villa will have too much. But at the same time, they drew 0-0 at Palace last week, and Palace have really been struggling. That's what I wanted to talk about. Ollie, where am I getting Ollie from? I don't know. Ollie Thomas, TikToker, there you go. Oliver Glasner. So yeah, Ollie. Okay, I was right. Oliver Glasner, what do we think? How long do you think he's going to last? Because I'm really surprised they haven't sacked him, to be honest. I appreciate he's probably given himself a bit of leeway by the fact that he's leaving at the end of the season. But obviously we've seen Amorim go. We saw Maresca go. I don't think you can keep your job after... And his was arguably worse. He properly went in on the owners. Abandoned. No other club would do this. I mean... Crazy. I'm surprised he actually hasn't been sacked this morning, but I think they will probably wait for Monday morning. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point tomorrow we get the news that Oliver Glasner has parted ways for Crystal Palace. But I do sort of somewhat agree with him. And let me know what you all think. He's completely had the core of his squad taken out from underneath him. And unfortunately, it always happens when a team does better than it usually does, I suppose. FA Cup, Europa League football, even though they're in the Conference League. Right, here's Armstrong. Barry receives it on the edge of the box, and that will be an Everton corner. Everton's starting to grow into this game. Bogard just has to shut Barry down, and Everton get the chance to put the ball back in the box. So where were we? Oliver Glasner. Yes, he has had the core of his squad taken out from underneath him. Eze's gone. Mateta could go. Gay, he looks like he's going to be gone. Apparently he's landed in Manchester to deal with all his stuff. It'll be very interesting to see if he plays on... I think they're playing on Tuesday. They're playing Bodo Glimt in Norway. Right, Dwight McNeil to swing this one in. 21 minutes gone. Ball to the back post. Real far. Grealish goes to hit it. Straight against Pau Torres, who can bring it out and clear their lines, but only as far as Patterson, who's going to swing a ball out wide to Dwight McNeil, who wins that really well. Here's Armstrong. Pau Torres gets there though and sends McNeil. That's really calm defending, and that's out for an Aston Villa throw. And really well done there by the centre back. Gay looks like, it'd be very interesting to see how he affects Man City. I can't see City winning the title now. I just think they're too inconsistent. Even with, Semenyo and Gay joining. I just don't see it. Where were we? Palace. Yeah, I think he'll be gone. And then the second manager, Thomas Frank. So on the BBC today, not sure if anyone saw, there was an article that a certain Spurs executive, an unnamed Spurs executive, is considering... Oh, that's a really good turn there by Buendia, but McNeil has done brilliantly. Has he given a foul for that? Oh, he's going to book him. Did he have his hands on his shirt or something? Because that looked like a brilliant challenge. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, he's pulling his shirt. Okay, fair enough. So a certain Spurs executive is apparently considering sacking Thomas Frank. Considering. What are they doing? See, I'd love for him to stay. I really would. I was thinking about this morning. I was like, can you just keep him in charge until we go to Tottenham for the away match? But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The question is, who's going to want to go in and take charge of that club? They are in an absolute state. And they will not be bringing back Ange Postecoglou. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I'm really surprised. You can't lose to West Ham. At home as well. It's just that could be a huge confidence boost for the Hammers and a massive result for Nuno. Anyway, here's Maatsen. Oh, he's done really well there. Pacing down the right. Doesn't get that far. That's going to trickle out for a goal kick for Everton. Get your thoughts in on Glasner and Frank. Put them in the comment section. Let's see what everyone thinks. Right, Everton goal kick, Pinkford with the chance to send this one up the pitch. Harry Black, do you want to be a commentator? Yeah, that is hopefully the aim. Commentator or presenter. I mean, the main aim is to be, like the Sky Sports presenter. That would be the coolest thing ever. And hopefully we will get there. Anyway, here comes Barry, although Guesson's done really, really well there to take that off him. Really, really well. Thomas Frank is definitely going before the end of this month. Yes, I think you will be right. I mean, I suppose it would be a bit too volatile to sack him after the Arsenal Cup incident. Like, that's an honest mistake. But the football is dreadful. It's dire. I mean, to hand Bournemouth and West Ham wins in the space of a couple of weeks, it's just poor. Really, really poor. Right. Everton just playing the ball around here. Just playing the ball around. Here's Armstrong out on the left-hand side. Finds Garner. Mikalenko back in the side. I feel like I haven't heard much about him recently. good solid left back. But again, we're talking about Everton. They need to build a squad to try and start to compete for Europe, especially with that stadium. That's definitely what the owners will be thinking. Here is Maatsen. Finds Watkins, who's somehow made his way out onto the left-hand side. Tielemans. Can he find the inside pass? No, he can't. Here's Maatsen to Rogers. Back to Maatsen. Tielemans. Here's Riconza. Just trying to find an avenue here. You feel for Villa? They're just trying to find an avenue. Matty Cash. Will it be through Gesson on the right-hand side? Or will it be through the middle with the likes of Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins? Potentially off the left. Emiliano Buendia. That could also be one. Just playing it around a bit. Just playing it around a bit. Poor ball there. Straight to Jake O'Brien. Here is Armstrong. Everton on the counter-attack here. Moving forward at some pace. Here's Grealish on the left-hand side running at Matty Cash. He's going to go for the shot. Looks like deflected. Will that go out for a corner? No, Armstrong keeps it in. And Cash does really well there to just smack it off Harry Armstrong out for a goal kick for Aston Villa. Trying to get the crowd going just there. Seems like a bit of a nervy atmosphere, should we say, at Villa Park. Obviously, it's a huge opportunity here for the hosts to go second. 4 points behind the Gunners. Yeah. Right, can they bring that from the back? Torres. Oh, he plays a poor ball. But Everton go back. Barry had made a brilliant run there. Fortunate the Villa defence there that they didn't spot Tiano Barry in behind. Tarkovsky now. Down to Jake O'Brien. Here's Mikalenko. Right. Tarkovsky bringing it forward. Finds Dwight McNeil, who plays a ball down the right side. It's pretty ambitious. Maatsen's just going to shepherd that out. He does well there. That'll be a goal kick. Patterson put in a good effort, but that will be a goal kick for Aston Villa. Nearly half an hour in. Best chance of the game definitely felt to Everton within the first 20 seconds. Harry Armstrong hitting the inside of Emilio Martinez's post. Morgan Rogers skies one over the bar for Aston Villa. Both sides with those opportunities, but neither able to take them so far. Yeah. Again, not much really happening. Not much really happening. I'm still really disappointed that this is the 4:30 on Sunday. I feel like it should be the Manchester derby. I know the TV scheduling and everything, and let's be real, Villa do always seem to get 12:30 kickoffs, but just 4:30 on a Sunday, it's getting dark, under the lights at Old Trafford. What a game that would have been. Everton won that really well. Here's Barry, although Bogart's done phenomenally well to shepherd him off that. Just gets it back to Emilio Martinez. Everton won that as Villa were trying to break forward. Nicked off Emiliano Buendia. Barry couldn't do much about it. Here is Martinez. Both sides still just trying to find some form of idea to get forward, although that's a great ball if Cash can keep that in. Yes, he can. Right, Villa coming forward with some pace here. Here's the Aston Villa right back, Matty Cash. Trying to go outside. O'Brien's done well there to shepherd him out. Bogard into Rogers, who's been dispossessed, but that will find its way to the Villa centre-backs. Here is Konza. Pau Torres. Maatsen, Tielemans. So, here's a question for you guys, because I'm trying to plan something. Oh, that's a great ball. Here's Gesson. Oh, I think that might have been... Who's the defender? Is it Grealish? No, Mikalenko. Mikalenko's done really well there. Gesson went straight through. Mikalenko just gets his body across him. Can't get the connection, and it trickles through to Pickford. But here is Grealish on the left-hand side, running, trying to get past Bogard, who forces him towards the corner, and Grealish loses that, and that will be a goal kick. Right, trying to plan something. I want your thoughts. So, I'm looking to go and watch a game of European football, either in La Liga, Serie A, or Liga. Bundesliga, potentially. But the problem is that I want to book it like soon. And the Bundesliga, I'm trying to have a look at... The game I would go to if it was in the Bundesliga is Bayern against Hoffenheim on, I think, the 7th or 8th of February. And I think that'd be really good because Bayern, for me, look phenomenal at the moment. And my favourites for the Champions League. But, I mean, 8 goals against Wolfsburg, 5 yesterday away at Leipzig. That was a phenomenal performance. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so the Bundesliga game would be Bayern against Hoffenheim. We could potentially go on the same weekend to Turin to see Juventus take on Lazio. That, I think, would be really good fun. At the same time, there is Atletico Madrid against Real Betis, so we can go and see Anthony in the Wanda Metropolitano, which is a stadium I really want to visit. But then so is the Allianz, and, well, both Allianz, I guess, because so is Juventus. Right, here at Everton, Mikalenko works the shot. Martinez has to palm that over. That is a corner. He got hold of that. The Ukrainian left-back. Really, really got hold of that. Everton win it high up. Harry Armstrong lays it off for Mikalenko, who unleashed a shot. And Martinez does well to get behind that. So, where were we? Bayern, Hoffenheim, Juventus, Lazio, Atletico against Real Betis, or Paris FC taking on, I think it will be Marseille. They haven't actually put the tickets out yet. But obviously Paris FC are the newer Paris side. Right, Garner whips the ball in. That's 1-0 Everton. Jacob Bryan. Oh no, the flag is up. The flag is up. That's unfortunate. That was a brilliant ball by James Garner. Absolutely brilliant ball by James Garner. Oh, let's see here. So, plays it to Grealish. Here is James Garner. Puts the ball in. Is he? I don't think he is, you know. Who's offside? Is it Grealish? That, if they're saying Jacob Bryan's offside, that should stand. Who's offside? No. Jacob Bryan is not offside. I'm sorry, that's a goal. Harry Armstrong is offside, but he does not touch the ball. But obviously we get this nonsense about interfering with play. Armstrong does not touch that ball. That is what I will say. He's very clearly offside, but he does not touch that ball. And that should be 1-0 Everton through Jacob Bryan. Come on, VAR. Don't screw it up. You know that's a goal. I just wish... Sometimes the decision is blatantly obvious and they find a way to drag it out. No, it's given us as offside. That's a joke. Absolute joke. That was a perfectly valid goal. No player that touched the ball in the build-up to that was offside. And now Villa have a free kick to try and get rid of it. So yeah, European trip. Madrid, Paris, Turin, or actually / Milan for Turin, because I want to have a look and see. The San Siro would be just iconic. Or what's the final one? Munich. There we go. Right, Villa free kick, clear the lines. Moyes is fuming about that. I would be. That's a perfectly good goal. Anyway, again, Everton have probably had the better chances in this first half. They're causing problems, but here is Maatsen. Can Villa respond to that scare? Oh, Maatsen's done really well. Takes it into the box. Can he get the ball in? He can. Rodgers. What a block by Jacob Bryan. What a block by Jacob Bryan. Gets his body across that. That was 1-0. That was 1-0 right there. Maatsen does so well. He works his way out to the byline. Gets the ball in. It's a perfect ball on a plate for Morgan Rodgers. and he just can't get it past Jake O'Brien. He just cannot get it past. What a block. That's 1-0 right there. 1-0 right there. What a block. Similar to the opportunity he skied, he gets this one on target, and it is blocked. But Aston Villa's corner taken short. Rodgers takes the shot. Pickford parries that out for a throw-in. Shot from distance. And Villa, I presume, will have a chance to go long. No, take it short. Ball in. Pickford punches that clear. Villa really starts to mount some pressure here. Here's Bogard. Out wide to Maatsen, who swings it in with his left. Pau Torres throws him to the ground there. That's surely a foul. It's not given as a foul. Villa really starting to cause some problems for the visitors here. Here is Morgan Rodgers. Here is Morgan Rodgers. The man I'm relying on to save my fantasy team. And I don't want Villa to win. I didn't do my fantasy team this week. Right, Buendia gets the ball across. Comfortable take there for Pickford though. Can Everton mount a counter now? Feels as though Villa are really starting to put on the pressure. If we go for a rewind here, they take the corner short and Rodgers just lines one up from the edge of the box. Doesn't really catch it as well as you think he'd like to. And it's an easy effort for Pickford to be able to parry away. Easy for Pickford. Right, I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Apologies. Right, here is Armstrong into the box. Is Grealish. Just trying to play it around here. Just trying to play it around. Grealish in a lot of space here. Is O'Brien. Dwight McNeil. Yeah. 38 minutes in. Again, not much going on, if we're being totally honest. Although having said that, that's a brilliant ball out wide there. Here's Nathan Patterson, the Everton right back. And that's cleared for a Villa throw-in. Right, Everton throwing long throw, Patterson to launch it in. He does. Can Everton player get their head on it? It's bouncing well. Straight to Emiliano Buendia Martinez. He goes long. Here's Gesson. Although Armstrong is chasing back and does well just then. And that is out for a throw. Oh no, it's Danny Roll. Danny Roll, not Armstrong. What am I talking about? Anyway. 40 minutes in, not much has really happened whatsoever. Just been a bit of a dull first half. In the life of Jack, who said it was going to be a draw, looks like it might be on something. Villa have won that in a really good position. Here is Buendia. Can he get a ball in? Can he pick out someone who's going to break the deadlock for Villa? Tielemans with the ball. Back post to Gesson. Oh, he hits the bar. He hits the bar with a looping header. But here's Maatsen. Back to Tielemans, the supplier of a brilliant ball. Maatsen takes on O'Neill. Out for a corner. Gesson hits the bar. Lovely ball in by Yuri Tielemans. And a looping header from Gesson. And he just is unfortunate. Over Pickford, hits the bar. Very, very close to 1-0 to Aston Villa just there. Very, very close. Off the bar. Wow, that's rough. Villa corner. Swing this one in. It will be Matty Cash. It's a good ball in, right on the goalkeeper. Pickford has to parry it out, and it looks as though he's gone straight into his own player. Patterson, yeah. Both struggling a bit after that. Pickford just jumps straight into Patterson. That will be a painful one for both of them. Yeah. Anyway, another Villa corner here. Can someone find an opener before the halfway mark? At the moment, doesn't seem like they can. Everton definitely with the best chances, though Aston Villa have just hit the bar. Ball comes in. Torres flicks it on, cleared by Grealish, only as far as Buendia, although with his back to goal, he's got to try and find a pass. Tries to clip it out wide to Tielemans, gets it. Unorthodox method of control there by Tielemans, but he controls it nonetheless. Here is Maatsen. Who just fires it out, and that will be an Everton throw. So yeah, based on this first half, you'd probably say Everton will be the happier of the sides. Away from home, tough place to go, Villa Park, 0-0. Villa, yeah, they hit the bar, but that's only a very recent development. Apart from that, haven't really created much. Here is Armstrong. Barry, lovely interplay there with the central attacking midfielder. Grealish on the left-hand side. Goes for the shot. Out for a corner. Deflected off Matty Cash. So Everton with a chance to put the ball into the box then. 43rd minute. I shouldn't think we'd see that much added on time. Strange. But here's Garner. Garner to swing the ball in. It is James Garner. They do this weird system here. They've got Grealish short and Tielemans is man marking Grealish. Probably Villa having to put a man on the short to stop the short corner. Pau Torres and Tarkowski having a bit of a get up, mate. Oh my days. You're meant to be the hard-headed centre-back as well, Tarkowski. Blooming hell. Blooming hell. Anyway. Let's see what happens here. God, they're at it again. They're at it again. Right. Garner to swing this one in, you would assume. No, he goes short to Mikalenko. He's a left footer. That's a really poor ball. He will get back to recover that, though. Oh, whose idea was it to put the left footer in that position? Oh, that's a great ball. Oh, Barry can't take it down, but it's going to come out to Tarkowski. Will he be onside? Right, throw in. 3 minutes added on as well. Quite surprised by that. We haven't had that much going on this first half. So 3 minutes seems a bit iffy, if I'm honest. But Jake O'Brien with the long throw. Great opportunity for Everton to get the ball back in the box. Let's see how they get on here. Can they cause Aston Villa some trouble right before the half-time whistle? Ball comes in. Can they get the header on it? No. Cleared away by Villa. Cleared away. Although Villa have got a great chance for a counter-attack here, the ball's just deflected wrong, unfortunately, for Villa. Although, as Rodgers kept that in, he's done very well, but O'Brien will just shepherd. Oh, it stayed in. Wow. Rodgers all over O'Brien there. That'll be a foul. Wins the free kick. He's done well there, the Everton defender. Done very well. Shepherded in the corner. Just has to use his body to get in front of the ball and does it very well. And that'll be a much needed pressure release for the Toffees. Moyes consulting with his staff. Leighton Baines is of course part of it. What a left back he was. He's of course part of David Moyes' coaching staff. You'd assume Seamus Coleman will follow suit. Right, Pickford to launch this one long. Just over a minute of the added 3 to play before half time. Konza goes long, trying to find Matty Cash, who's controlled that really well, but it will go out for a goal kick. Somehow he just overran it there. In down the right hand side, a great ball over the top from Ezri Konza, but the right back, just unable to control it. Alright, Pickford will take his sweet time, 30 seconds until the halfway mark. And what has been a pretty even and unentertaining first half of football at Villa Park. Goes long. That's just gone out. The Everton throw in. Nope, that is half time. 0-0. Not much going on. So I have to say that was a very dull first half. 0-0 at half time. Everton probably the better of the two sides, if we're being totally honest. In that first half, better opportunities, hit the post. O'Brien actually had the ball in the back of the net. It was ruled out for offside. Villa hit the bar through Gesson. Morgan Rogers skied a couple of chances. And James O'Brien also made a fantastic block to deny Rodgers the opener. But ultimately, it is 0-0 at half-time. Yeah, poor. Don't really know what else to say. Don't really know what else to say. Right, let's get some topic discussions going in the chat. Let's have a chat about Real Madrid. I don't know if anyone saw what went on in the Bernabeu yesterday. That was rather interesting. Vinicius Jr. got absolutely slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered by the Los Blancos faithful. I mean, it was unbelievable. I couldn't actually really believe what I was hearing. Every time he touched the ball, and it wasn't just him, although his was definitely the loudest. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting absolute dog's abuse by those who'd made their way to the Bernabeu to watch the game. Absolute dog's abuse. It was really surprising. I have to say, it was really surprising for me. You know, I think Vinicius has been, well, in the past 5 years at least, Madrid's best player. Consistently. Obviously, Benzema won the Ballon d'Or, but consistently. And to see him getting treated like that was just, I could not believe my eyes. I really couldn't. But that's the expectations of playing for Real Madrid, isn't it? I mean, the fans expect perfection every week. If you don't play well, you do get booed. We've seen it in the past. Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema, they've all been there. They've all had that treatment from the Bernabeu. And yeah. Right. 0-0 at half time. Everton was robbed that goal. How'd that get disallowed? Thank you. Thank you. I am in complete and utter agreement. I do not understand how that was not given as a goal. Armstrong is in an offside position. He doesn't touch the ball. Yes, he goes to try and play the ball, but ultimately he doesn't touch it. That should have been a goal, Reece. I completely 100% agree with you. I am beyond baffled how that was not a goal. Everton should be 1-0 up, and they've had the better chances. Let's be honest. They have had the better chances. VAR is dreadful. Oh, it's not been a good weekend. But when is it ever a good weekend? It's never a good weekend for VAR. Ever. Ever. Dallo should have been sent off yesterday. Should have had a goal today. Should Arsenal have had a penalty last night? Who knows? It's poor. It's very, very poor. But it was the Dallo one. Oh, absolutely blew my mind how that wasn't a red card. Absolutely blew my mind. Reece, who are you a fan of, mate? Who do you support? Everton robbed. That they were. They really were. Goalless. Joke. Absolute joke. Birmingham. Brilliant. Okay, so we do have some sort of skin in the game. I can't believe that's not a goal. I really can't. He's won the header. He hasn't come from an offside position. And he puts it away, and it should be 1-0 to Everton. I am an Arsenal fan, mate. Arsenal fan. So technically this result will be brilliant for me, because it would mean we are still 6 points clear. But yeah. Oh, they're showing it back now. It annoys me. But Birmingham. See, the last time I saw Birmingham play was when you beat Coventry. That was one hell of a game. Mate, these refs and VAR are the worst. That they are, Jordan. That they very much are. It's very okay. So they're trying to give some justification here. I'm going to pause it because it's half time. We don't have to worry about it. So it is offside. Get ready for this. It is offside if a player is preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing the opponent's line of vision. Was not obstructing the line of vision. It's a header going sideways, so he's not in front of the ball. So that's not obstructing the vision. Challenging an opponent for the ball. I suppose he did jump for the ball. But again, no. Clearly attempted to play a ball which is close when this action impacts on an opponent. Well, it doesn't, because O'Brien was the man behind him. Making an obvious action which clearly impacts on the ability of an opponent to play the ball. No justification there that I'm seeing for that being disallowed. I can't understand it. Thing is, so no one else is supposed to jump for the ball. Exactly. Like, I'm watching it back here. cannot understand that. He didn't block any view or touch the ball. Baffled. Absolutely baffled. But what the officials say, it seems they make up the rules on the spot. One moment one's a goal, one moment one's another. But, okay, let's not forget, actually, in fairness to the referees, and not that that was a good decision as well, but we all remember the one from midweek. How Semenyo's second goal didn't stand was beyond. I mean, that was a proper joke. That was a proper joke. Oh, we're back with the halftime interviews. Tarkowski with the halftime interviews. Can we actually... Okay, let's talk about the... Because I didn't see it that much. Let's talk about the... who was it? Semenyo. Semenyo goal being ruled out at Newcastle. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful officiating. Oh, it riles me up so much. Tarky has been so bad all season. Do you think? I don't think he's been that bad. I'm going to be honest. Jordan, are you an Everton fan, mate? Do you have skin in the game? Definitely are an Everton. Yeah, you are an Everton fan. Okay, perfect. I really like Everton. I have to say, I really, really like Everton as a club. Ridwan, I am an Arsenal fan. I was shocked at the Arsenal result yesterday because Forest report team. Mate, this is our problem. We can just never... the past 4 years we've been challenging for the title. We can never, ever take advantage of being handed opportunities. Second week in a row, we had a perfect chance to increase the gap. And yes, I suppose we did on City. And they're the ones that I'm really worried about. But... it's just frustrating. We just couldn't finish. We just could not finish. And that's an issue. Well, Declan Rice did not look happy. If anyone saw what happened at the end of the game, he was, I'm not going to say on here, but he definitely had some choice words to say. Definitely had some choice words to say. Oh, what the fuck? No, I'm still here. Alright, sorry that cut out. Don't know why. Fuck, that's... why is this thing so annoying? That's really annoying. Don't know why that's cut out. That is so irritating. Why is that cut out? But it's back now. Oh, I was having a really great conversation. That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Never mind. We'll go again for the second half. Can't believe that's just happened. Cannot believe that's just happened. That is so frustrating. So frustrating. Anyway, we'll go again. So 0-0 at half time, and Everton definitely been the better side, robbed of a goal in my opinion. They've hit the post. Villa have hit the bar though, in reply, in fairness. And we are waiting for the second half to get back underway. Reese, mate, thank you. I'm so sorry it cut out. You're back. I'm sorry, it cut out. Where were we? Inactivity. That's what happened. What were we talking about? Birmingham. I don't really know. What do you think? Okay, of your ownership model, what are your thoughts? I'm not against it. But it does give you a pretty significant financial advantage, I suppose. We're dreadful away, can only win at home. Well, to be fair, What's your home form like? I'm afraid I don't really pay that much attention to Birmingham, but I suppose if you're picking up points at home, then it's not. I mean, you're not in any danger of going down. Well, exactly. Lost one at home. You're not in any danger of going down, so you'll be fine. Yeah. But I suppose you're just building up for a playoff push at some point. I mean, you've got some good players. I think Jay Stansfield's a brilliant player. So, yeah, you've definitely got some players on your hands. Definitely got some players on your hands. Right, still just waiting for the second half to begin. Still 0-0. Hopefully we get 3 points away on Tuesday against Sheffield Wednesday. They're in the mud. They are in the mud. I mean, they're still on minus points. So they -7. Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. They are gone, unfortunately for them. They will not be playing Championship football next season. But yeah, it's just what happens when you get bad ownership. It is what happens when you get bad ownership. Anyway, hopefully this second half will be much better than the first, because the first, I've got to say, was properly dreadful. And yeah, here we go. We'll see if there's any substitutions that have been made. Don't forget, we have got Monday Night Football tomorrow. Brighton take on Bournemouth at the Amex. And we are waiting for the second half to begin. Brilliant. Reece, mate, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hopefully the second half's better. Hopefully it's better. Right. Right, coming out for the second half now. I'm going to change my prediction. I originally went with 3-1 Villa. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think both sides are going to score, but I do just think that Villa can't keep a clean sheet, because Everton do look dangerous, and they have looked dangerous. And it'll be interesting to see how they get on in this one. I think set piece will be their best chance of a goal, trying to assert their advantage, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Right, we are about to get underway for the second half. Villa to kick us off, attacking the Holt end. They will be up for in the second half. As we know, there's some massive opportunity for the home side to go level, well, not level, 4 points behind league leaders Arsenal. And we will see if they can do it. Here's Grealish. Konza clears it. No changes for either side, it looks like, at half time. Ball trickles through for Villa just to collect under their behind their line. Yeah, we will see how it gets on. Do you prefer Eze in the 10 over Odegaard, as he suits the double pivot better in transition? It's a tough question. I do think there's definite underusage of Eze. Yesterday was a prime example, although, just hold that a second, that'll be a yellow card for Ghana, you'd expect, stopping a counter-attack. To refer Eze in the 10. Yes, he definitely works better in the 10 than on the left. Whether he starts over Odegaard, I'm not sure. But as I say, Arteta's definitely not used him as much as he probably should. Yesterday, for example, Odegaard comes off, he brings on Marino. Why? We're going for a goal. I appreciate Marino then went up front, but you shouldn't have taken Gyökeres off, ultimately. So no, I'd stick with Odegaard because he's been playing pretty well. But actually, having said that, I wouldn't mind seeing Eze play in Milan. I would not mind seeing Eze play at the San Siro. Marlon just scored a brace for Roma on debut. There we go. I said that would happen. I was baffled by it, to be honest. I could not understand why on earth they get rid of Marlon. I mean, he was playing so well as an impact substitute. It is bizarre. I suppose they'll probably line someone up. I mean, it is only a loan, let's not forget, and the obligation to buy is only if the two sides finish in certain European positions, but it looks like they might do. Dybala double assist, yeah, what a player. What a player. It's a real shame he never came to the Premier League. I think he would have done really well. I mean, we all remember 17-18, 2016 to 2019 Dybala, what a baller. Anyway, here is Maatsen. Just playing around. Yeah, the Marlon thing baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. Why on earth they're getting rid of it? Because, I mean, they're banking on Watkins, who, yes, has been in terrific form. But if he gets injured, which I really hope he doesn't because we need him for the World Cup, but if he gets injured, who's the striking option? That is the question. That is very much the question. Anyway, 3 minutes in, not much has happened. Villa just playing around with it at the back. Watkins plays a great ball to Maatsen. Can he keep going? No, Patterson does exceptionally well there to take that off the Villa player. And it's a free kick to Everton. Just inside their own half. Rodgers is having a real go at the ref there. Not too sure why. Definitely looked like a foul. Definitely looked like a free kick. Sorry. Here come Villa though. Buendia plays a lovely ball out to Watkins into the box on the left hand side. Tries to work the angle. Blocked by Tarkowski. Just couldn't get a shot off in time. Tarkowski gets his body in the way, but Villa coming forward still. Here's Matty Cash. Digs out across. Tielemans. Ooh, ball just sails wide. Be a goal kick to Everton, but that is a good bit of build-up play there by the home team. Yeah. It's a free header. Probably should do better, but it's a good effort. And that will... It's a very good effort. It's a very, very good effort. Anyway. Everton goal kick. Here is Dwight McNeil. He's got to play that back inside. Surely he's got to find Ghana in that position. And they've given it away. Here's Maatsen. Does he keep it in? No, he can't keep it in. Cannot keep it in. So, 5 minutes in. Tielemans with a great header opportunity to put Villa in front. Can't take it on this occasion, unfortunately. But anyway. It's a good ball. Here is Tarkowski. Patterson. Tries to find up the wing, can't get there. Buendia does really well there, and he's a lot of room for Morgan Rogers here. Driving at the box, tries to shoot, loses his footing, and Everton should be able to clear. Although, here's Matty Cash. Ollie Watkins straight to James Garner. That'll be an Aston Villa throw-in. There was a bit of a lacklustre ball there by the English striker. He was in a good position, couldn't pick out a teammate, and he will probably be kicking himself about that. Bogard. Oh, gives that away. Here's Dwight McNeil. Can Matson get there? Yes, he can. Pau Torres clears up the rest. Here is Matson. Can I tell you a joke for a follower? I used to think I had a Japanese. That's very good. That is a very that's a very, very, very good joke. I like that a lot. Thank you, mate. That's that's brilliant. Here is Garner. He's going to line up the shot, and he sends that flying over the bar. Had a good opportunity there, Everton. Garner was in a lot of space, and it's definitely the wrong option to go for the shot. Definitely the wrong option. Kuritz, hi. How are we doing? I hope your Sunday, hope your weekend in general has been really nice. I hope you've had a good one. I hope you've had a good one. Martinez goes long, but Tarkowski wins that header. Bogard loses it just inside its own half. Everton playing some nice stuff here. Really nice one-touch football. Though that's pass has gone a bit too far. And Villa now with their own nice one-touch football. Right, here's Matson. Got a lot of space to drive into here, the Dutch left-back. What will he do? Finds Buendia. Here is Tielemans. Gesson finds Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins, shall I say, who's in down the left. No one's in the box, and he scuffs the cross anyway. That'll trickle through to Pickford. 0-0. It remains. Best chance of the second half. Definitely Yuri Tielemans. Great headed opportunity, and he couldn't do it. O'Brien tries to play the ball through. Barry's not going to get to that. Konza will just play that back to Emi Martinez, who lays it off very calmly with Barry closing in. Lays it off very, very calmly to Pau Torres. Still 0-0 at Villa Park. Villa only picking up a point, not taking the opportunity to close the gap on Arsenal just yet. But a valuable point. This will still be at Villa Park. That's a great ball by Buendia. Can Gesson get there ahead of O'Brien? No, he can't. Although O'Brien's narrowed the angle quite a lot for himself. Has that gone out for a throw-in? Yes, it has. Aston Villa throw-in. Villa throw-in here. Gesson, can he get the ball through? No, he can't. Garner will surely clear his lines. Yes, he can. BBC, I'm missing. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. And that will be an Everton free kick. Grealish taken out there by Bogard. Yes, still 0-0. 10 minutes into the second half. Yuri Tielemans with the best chance of the second half. Although, definitely the best chance of the game. Probably fell to Armstrong. 20 seconds in, hits the inside of the post. Very, very unfortunate not to give Everton the lead. Lamar Bogard. There we go. Yellow carded. Still 0-0. Still 0-0. Pickford to launch this one long. Can Everton get it in the box? They certainly can. That will go straight to Pau Torres. Although Barry's won that really well. Here's Armstrong. There's off. Couldn't get there, but Villa will break now through Morgan Rogers. Does really well to leave Garner in his wake. Can he get the shot off? No, he can't. That looked like a push in the back to me. Surprised that's not a foul. But Everton come the other way now. Here is Jack Grealish, who's been. That will be a free kick. Ooh, wow. Well. That looked as though it could have been a foul there. Garner already on a yellow. And there's definite shove there. I think he's got away with one there. That is a clear shove in the back. Garner should be seeing red, but he won't. And Everton can definitely feel they got away with one, and the home side can definitely feel aggrieved by not picking up the one-man advantage. But anyway, Everton free kick. Chance to put it into the box. Can they get the first goal in the game? Nearly an hour in. Ball comes in. It's cleared away. Have they kept that in? No. Aston Villa throw it. Just by the corner flag. In the Villa half. Seeing this back again. There's two decisions there that VAR have got wrong. Should have been a yellow card there. Oh, sorry, yeah, second yellow, so Garner would have been off. Anyway, Pickford to launch this one long. Looks like Conte will deal with it, although Barry's won that. No, he hasn't. Oh, Torres has slipped. Here's Dwight McNeil. Martinez parries. Barry! 1-0 Everton. 1-0 Everton. Tiano Barry. What a finish. Martinez goes to parry it out. Makes a complete mess of it from the Dwight McNeil shot. And Tiano Barry has given Everton the lead at Villa Park. Dwight McNeil with the original shot. Pau Torres gives it straight to the Everton right winger. He has a shot. Martinez makes an absolute mess of it. Parries it straight into the path of Tiano Barry. And Everton have the lead at Villa Park. And at the moment are really, really upsetting the odds. What a finish that is from the French striker. He's done phenomenally well to loop it over Martinez there. Brilliant finish. Konza can't keep it out of the net. It all starts with a poor touch from Pau Torres. It just hits his leg. He's not expecting it. McNeil takes the shot. Martinez fluffs the catch. And Barry just dinks it into the far corner. What a finish. And you have to say, Everton probably are the deserved leaders in this match. What a finish. Just watching this back. Oh, phenomenal chip. Cons are unable to take it out of the net. He gets unlucky there, he very nearly does. But it nestles in the net just inside of the post. And the away side take the lead, and it's probably what they deserve. Can Villa come up with a response? They've gone long straight away, although that will just trickle through to Pickford. And as it stands, there will be no change. Excuse the voice. There will be no change in the top of the table. Yeah, no change. Rodgers done well there to find Bogard. Ooh. Garner. Good ball. Here's Armstrong. Charging into the box from the left-hand side. Plays it back for Grealish. Can he find an option? Grealish tries it. Can it fall for Armstrong? No. Villa clear their lines. And now here come Aston Villa. Watkins chipped in behind by Buendia. What a ball that is from the Argentine. Here's Watkins bearing down on goal. O'Brien does well to get there, and Pickford smothers it before it can go out for a corner. Done with football. Inept referees ruining the game. Same, different weekend. Yes, there have been some very, very dodgy decisions here. Coxie, CDI Coxie, are you a Villa fan? By any question. But for any Villa fans watching, there is hope. There is hope. 18 points from losing positions this season, the most out of any team in the Premier League. So Villa are certainly not dead and buried in this one just yet. But Tiano Barry, the French striker, gives the away side the lead. And you have to say it's probably what has been coming. Still a brilliant finish. Everton have not lost when scoring first this season. 7 wins, 3 draws. They've gone ahead 10 times this season, and they have not lost any of those, winning 7 of them. Anyway, can Aston Villa respond? At the moment, they've been very lacklustre and seem to be unable to do so. Here is Ian Maatsen. Finds Watkins, who finds Buendia. Lovely bit of interplay there. Can Buendia find the ball out wide? No, he can't. He's forced backwards. But here is Maatsen. Tielemans lines up the shot. It's blocked by Danny Roll. That will go out. Not Danny Roll. Danny Roll's the blooming Rangers manager. What am I on about? Roll. It's blocked by Roll. And that will be an Aston Villa throw-in. They're going to go long here. Matty Cash to launch the ball in. It's flung in. Everton clear that away. James O'Brien has thumped that down the pitch. And here comes Barry. He's chasing after that. He's up against Pau Torres. Can he get there? No, he can't. The Spanish defender sees that out for an Everton throw-in. Poor defending, but what a clearance by O'Brien. Really put the pressure on the Villa backline just then. I'm happy for Barry. I felt bad for him at the start of the season because Beto was getting picked over him. Is that why? I think he's a decent striker. He does his job well, and that was a phenomenal finish. He's a young striker as well. He'll develop, and he's the sort of player that Everton will be looking to keep hold of, as I feel they should be building a squad to try and compete for Europe. But Mikalenko with the throw-in now. It's a long throw. See if the away side can double their lead. Ball comes in. Barry with the header straight to Martinez. I felt bad because he went 15 games without scoring. You can see he was in a slump. Well, there you go. There you go. He's got one today. He's done very well. Maatsen slips, gives it straight to Dwight McNeil, who's being forced backwards by Buendia, who's got his arms all over him. But here is Patterson. Patty Versa, nice to see you, mate. How are we doing? How are we doing? Here is James Tarkowski. Launches that long to Barry, who whizzes in offside position. And that will not... Well, it will be a free kick for Aston Villa. Still 1-0 to Everton. This will be a massive, massive 3 points. Since Aston Villa got promoted in the second half... in 2019, back up from the Championship, they have not lost to Everton. They haven't lost. So this would be a first. Missed all the second half so far. Who scored for us? Everton. Tiano Barry scored for Everton, mate. Really, really nice finish. Just dinks it over Martinez. Villa with a great chance here. Here's Morgan Rogers. Sends that flying over the bar. Upsetting coming potentially. Do you think Wolves can stay up? No, I don't. I think their start to the season was just dreadful, and it ultimately it's going to cost them. I haven't watched the highlights. I don't know if they had any major chances against Newcastle today, but if you're going to stay up, they need to start winning more games. I know that's harsh because they were on an incredible streak of losses. Thomas Tuchel in the stand at Villa Park. Will be keeping his eye out. I know that is harsh because they were on an incredible streak of losses. But yes, but no games are easy, as Arsenal and Liverpool found out yesterday. That is very true. That is very true. Both sides were very poor yesterday. Very, very poor. I was very frustrated. Roll fouls Matson there, who's in some pain. I mean, he is. He's just done about 4 different roly-polies. Blimey now. They had like 0.30 XG, but 19 created a single big chance. Okay, so a pretty boring 0-0 stalemate. Well, there you go. I mean, picking up a point against Newcastle at home isn't such a bad point, but it's not going to keep them in the league. It's not going to keep them in the league. K1, show screen. No, mate, we can't do that. I'm afraid that cannot happen. Yeah. Does anyone want to challenge Arsenal? Do Arsenal want to run away with the league? Is the question that should be asked. I mean, quite a few times they've been handed an opportunity on the plate. Twice in 2 weeks. Anyway, here come Villa. Garner's had a phenomenal challenge there. Shouldn't be on the pitch, by the way. He should have received a second yellow for a blatant push on Morgan Rogers as he was breaking free. But yeah, does anyone want to challenge Arsenal? At the moment, Arsenal will have gained, it won't be 9 points, but it will be 1 point more. And it will be a 7-point lead at the top of the table for the Gunners. Anyway, Barry down injured at the moment. Not a positive sign for the goal scorer. The sooner Arteta benches Gyökeres, the better. Havertz and Mourinho better. I disagree with that. I don't think Mourinho is better. I don't think either of them offer as much up front as Gyökeres. Yes, his finishing's been poor, but I think he takes men out of the game for us. And I'm really Madueke. I'm really surprised Martinelli started yesterday. I'm really surprised Madueke started yesterday. Probably the rotation. Trossard and Saka both started in the week. But ultimately, I think that first half, when we were by far the better side, is what cost us. And you see when Saka came on, he was really deadly. 1 game less. Exactly. There you go. What do you mean by 1 game less, Monkey? What do you mean by 1 game less? They've just shown back Tiana Barry's finish. Again, what a strike. Absolutely amazing strike. Just to dink it over Martinez from that angle and take it so quickly. It's done very well. Very, very well. But Villa, come on. Here is Matson on the left-hand side. He's going to put the ball in. He does. Oh, Karskowski blocks that from Rogers. Looks like it was on target. Tielemans keeps it alive there. Here's Buendia out wide to Matson. Puts the ball in. Rogers skies another one. That is the 3rd one that he has skied. 1 more game gone. Exactly. 1 less chance for them to close the gap on us at the top of the league. If it stays that way, the gap will remain 7 points, but still 20 minutes to go. And that was a very good chance there for Morgan Rogers, who's just put that straight over the bar again. I don't know, man. With Mourinho striker, he scored 80% of goals from open play. With Gyökeres 53. Well, yeah, there you go. We'll see. 6 points. What's 6 points? Matson gets away from Barry there. He's done very well. Yes, it will be 6 points if Villa draw. It will be 6 points if Villa draw. But they're losing at the moment, so we'll stay 7. Here is Watkins. Finds Rogers. Really good feet. Garner gets rid of it, but it's bounced to Tielemans. He finds Matty Cash just inside the 18-yard box. Bogard. Can a Villa player work an angle here to try and get a shot off and test Jordan Pickford? Here is Pau Torres. Here is Pau Torres. Oh, do I need to update the score? I need to update the score, that's why. That's really annoying that hasn't worked. Why is that not worked on there? Oh! Sorry, I'm looking at a different screen and that's why it hasn't worked. Let's just update it on the thing. Apologies, everyone. You're right, it is 1-0 to Everton. And that needs to be updated. Hopefully that works now. Okay, why is that not? I have no idea why that is not working there. We'll try and get it going again. Sorry, that is really frustrating. That should have been working. And it hasn't for some reason. Let's try and get that sorted. So, scenes. We're going to add a link. Ads. Brilliant. Turn that on. Add source. And then if we fix that, hopefully that'll be fixed. Oh, Pickford with an unbelievable save to stand. Is that better for everyone? Can we see? Is that better? Hopefully that works for everyone. What a save this is from Jordan Pickford. Rodgers catches that perfectly on the up. It looks as though it's going top corner. What a save. Can people watching on TikTok just tell me that that's worked? That it says 1-0 now. Oh no, it's just gone. Brilliant. That is just, it's so annoying when it does that. So blooming annoying. We'll keep it on there. We will keep it on there. There we go. Right. Corner here for Aston Villa. That would have been a phenomenal goal. You are right for the petty version. Right. Corner swung in. Cleared away. Cleared away. Ball comes back in though. Falls to Konza. Can't get it. Out for another corner. Villa are really starting to put the pressure on. They are really starting to put pressure on here. Pressure is mounting. Pressure is mounting. Right, ball comes in from Matty Cash. Can Pickford claim it? He does. He does well there. Does very well to get to that one. Can Everton get away on the break? 73 minutes in. And Roll would have been offside there. So that will not count for anything for the away team. Watching this Roma game, does Dybala have the best first touch in football? He might do. He's such an underrated player. I cannot believe he has not ever come to the Premier League. Would have been such a player to watch. I think Spurs were rumoured with signing him only a few years, like quite recently. I know back in the day he was linked with like United, City, Chelsea, all of them. But obviously he stayed at Juve and now he's at Roma. Anyway, Everton come away with it. Here is James Garner. Dwight McNeil back to Garner, who plays a brilliant ball through. Armstrong puts the ball across and there's no Everton player there to pick up the rebound. And Villa will have the opportunity to break now. Here is Yuri Tielemans. Finds Matty Cash. Morgan Rodgers can't get past Jake O'Brien, who's done very well there. And then Rodgers absolutely poleaxes O'Brien. And that will be a foul. Frustration coming through there for the Aston Villa midfielder. In fairness to him, he has been manhandled by this Everton side. And yeah, it's poor. Lloyd, hey mate, just came across your content and dropped follow. Keep up the good work. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you for stopping by. Luca Digne on at left back for Aston Villa. Ian Matson has made his way off. 75 minutes in, 15 minutes plus added time still to go here at Villa Park. Luca Digne to put the throw in. And here is Garner, who's done really well to get past Buendia, who's pulling his shirt the entire time. And that will be a free kick for Everton. Will they launch it into the box? Will they launch it into the box? Yes, they will. It's James Garner, it looks like it's going to be. Anyway, ball to come in for Everton. Garner with the ball in. It's gone straight out. Poor ball. And Villa have the chance to go up the other end again and see if they can try and find an equaliser. At the moment, the gap at the top of the table will remain 7 points. And Villa would have missed a good opportunity to try and narrow the advantage that the league leaders have. But Everton, let's not count them out. They have played phenomenally well, deservedly 1-0 ahead. Both sides have created big chances, but Everton took theirs, Villa have not, though that's lovely interplay. Here's Hemmings, who's also come on, I forgot to say, I believe, for Lamar Bogard. Buendia finds Tielemans. Just lays it off for Konza. Villa just probing at the moment, trying to find a way past their opponents, and they can't seem to do so. Buendia's picked that up. That would be... Oh, he got the ball apparently. I thought that would have been a free kick. Here's Morgan Rogers. Ah, it's a poor pass. It's a poor pass, and it's out for a throw-in to Everton. Yeah, that was poor, that. That was very, very poor. Here are Villa though. Here's Morgan Rogers. Does well to get past. Wins the ball though, the Everton player. And they clear their lines. And they come again. Aston Villa. Here is Yuri Tielemans. Finds Hemmings. And Grealish just gets his foot to it to force it out for a Villa throw. And again, as the minutes tick away, Everton will feel more and more confident that they're going to walk away with 3 points here at Villa Park. Although here's Buendia, it's broken to him really nicely. Can he line up the shot? He does. Tarkowski gets slap bang in the way. Here's McNeil. Can Everton now hit on the counter-attack? Here's Barry on the left wing, although he slipped, and that has gone straight through to Ezri Konza, and Villa will come again, really starting to put the pressure now on the home side, though they've lost it in a poor position there. Is Garner. Plays a good ball through. Martinez will collect that though. Just sends it back up the field. And out for a throw-in. Luca Digne to throw this one in. Second half stats. Villa dominating the possession. Everton with more shots on target, even if Villa have had more shots. Though Cash has done very well there. Cuts it back. No Villa player there to meet it, and Tarkowski just clears his lines out for a Villa throw-in. It's tough, that. It's a tough one. Anyway, Ezri Konza finds Buendia. He finds Watkins, who's just shoved off the ball. Great defending there. And they will clear. They will clear. Pickford launches it long. Can Grealish control it? No, straight out. Straight out. What a ball that is. Here's Digne. Oh, it's a poor ball across. It will come out to Morgan Rogers though. Puts the ball back in. Gesson can't get there. Digne straight at Pickford. Straight at Pickford. Kevin Mason didn't expect that scoreline, I know, mate. Though Everton, they've deserved it. They've been playing very well, and they deserve the advantage that they have. Anyway, here is Dwight McNeil. Roll in the midfield for Everton. Out to Barry, who's sort of adopted a left-back position. Has the striker. Grealish. Obviously, this will be a very, very happy return to Villa Park if it finishes this way. And he's fouled there by Hemmings. And that will be a brilliant, brilliant chance for Villa to put the ball in the box and see if they can try and get a second goal. Garner to take this free kick. Again, I've got to be honest, some of the decisions today have been a bit dodgy. James O'Brien should have put the side, had it scored a perfectly valid goal, was ruled out. James Garner is lucky to still be on the pitch. It was a blatant second yellow. And ultimately, Everton had the lead. It looks though Beto is about to make his way on for the away team, as the Toffees try to freshen up their 11 in hope of sealing out the 3 points. Though they've given it away there. Gesson dragged to the ground by Mikalenko, and I believe we're going to get a booking. What a performance from the Toffees though. They have been phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant. They really have. They've done very well. So the goal scorer makes his way off. Tiana Barry is off for Everton. On comes Beto. He took his goal really well. Was there to capitalise on the Martinez blunder. Tinks it over the goalkeeper with a really calm finish. And ultimately has sent Everton towards 3 points. Still 7 minutes plus added time to play. Here is Pau Torres. And that is an Everton throw-in. Looks like it should have been a Villa one. Thought it came off better. But Everton get the throw. They get the throw in. Nathan Patterson will probably just want to take as much time as he possibly can. Rodgers brings Villa away, finds a lovely ball through to Ollie Watkins. He needs to find a pass. Oh, it's a poor ball. Out for an Everton throw. Tried to find Buendia. Gets it all wrong. Too much power on the pass. And again, Villa letting Everton off the hook. Just a slight bit. Patton with the throw in. 84 minutes gone. Everton edging towards 3 points away at Villa Park. And I believe they'll be the first side to win at Villa Park in just over a year. Buendia finds Tielemans, who just absolutely sends it out for a goal kick for Jordan Pickford. Not sure what he was doing there. Hasn't paid off. 5 minutes to go here at Villa Park before we get stoppage time. The Villa fans are starting to think that it might not be their day. It just might not be their day. Pickford launches it long. Can Beto win that header? He's done well to annoy, I think it was Tielemans who was over there. Here's Digne, Buendia, skips past 2. Got to release it. He does. Finds Hemmings. Pau Torres launches the ball in towards Gesson, wins the header, and that will be an Everton goal kick. 4 minutes plus added time to go here at Villa Park. Everton 1, Aston Villa 0. The away side, as it stands, picking up all 3 points and denying the Villains the opportunity to close the gap on the Gunners to just 4 points. As it stands, they will have a 7-point lead at the top of the Premier League. And you feel the chasing pack is starting to slip. O'Brien doesn't clear that well, although he gets a second bite at the cherry. Only as far as Buendia, who plays a lovely ball, but Tarkowski gets across. And he clears it as far as Beto, who wins it, and Everton are away here. Here is Beto, he's charging clear. Can he get there ahead of Hemmings? Heavy touch, yes he can get there. Goes around the Villa player. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. That's unfortunate. He just trips over his own feet there, the Everton striker. That was a very, very nice piece of play there by the Portuguese. And Hemmings falls on the ball. Thank goodness doesn't make contact with his hands, otherwise that would have been a penalty. And Beto just unfortunately falls on the ball. Gets his feet a bit mixed up. 2 minutes plus added time left at Villa Park. Martinez comes out of his box to try and drive his home side, to try and find an equaliser. It's just not coming at the moment for Villa. Here's Konza. Will Mikalenko get there? No, he won't. Matty Cash done really well. Pulls it back for Buendia, who can't turn. Tarkowski gets across his man really well. But here's Rogers. Gets the ball out to Matty Cash. Dinks the ball in. Passes and clears it. And Everton, through Armstrong, will be able to clear it, but not that far. Cash now has it. Plays a good ball for Rogers. Garner gets in there. And Everton are playing some decent stuff here, and they might be in actually, although it's a free kick for Everton. Just couldn't find the ball. Armstrong just could not find the ball. Just couldn't find the ball. Well, Grealish is down at the moment. Garner tries to help him up. He gets up on his feet now, and as it stands, it will be a very, very welcome return to Villa Park for Jack Grealish. Into the final minute of the 90. Villa just seems as though it hasn't been their day. Free kick launched forward by Everton, cleared by Digne, but that will go out. You'd feel, no, Buendia's done well to keep it in, but Patterson gets there. Digne then clears it only as far as James Garner. And Everton have the chance to recycle through Jordan Pickford, who just catapults it back upfield. Grealish is offside, and that will go out for a Villa throw-in. I'm going with 3 minutes of added time. 4 max. I can't see much more. Hasn't been that many stoppages the second half. 4 minutes. Yeah, there we are. 4 minutes left for Villa to try and salvage something. Here is Ezri Konza. Tielemans, who takes out Grealish, and that will be a free kick to the away team. Story of the afternoon, really, for Everton. It just has not worked out for them. Sorry, Everton, for Aston Villa. Just has not worked out. Just has not worked out. Anyway, they're giving man the match to James Garner. I completely agree. I think he's a bit lucky to still be on the pitch, but he has been absolutely phenomenal in that midfield. And with Thomas Tuchel watching, you never know. Could there be a spot on the plane for the young Evertonian? I don't think there will, but you never know. Anyway. Dwight McNeil is fouled there by Buendia. Kai, I would take Garner. Well, yeah, fair enough. You could. But our midfield is so stacked at the moment. Elliot Anderson and Wharton, I believe, get in ahead of James Garner. For me, at least. I wouldn't expect to see James Garner on the plane. Obviously, Declan Rice as well can play in that position. So, yeah, you'd probably go with Wharton and Elliot Anderson. Anyway, everyone going to line up the long free kick. 2 minutes in to the 4. Plays a good ball out wide, although Cash intercepts. Here's Rodgers. Who takes out Garner. That will be a free kick. 2 minutes left. Minute and a half to go for the away side. These Villa fans look very frustrated, and fair play. They haven't been at the races today, though that is a free kick for the home team as they try to get something out of this game. Just over a minute left to go here at Villa Park. Villa on the counter-attack. Here's Dino with a lot of space on the left flank. He's just got to drive. He doesn't. He goes back to his centre-back. It's actually a misplaced pass. Torres has to reach for it. Here's Konza. Into the final minute of the match. Tielemans puts the ball in. Buendia with the flicked header, and it's just wide. Goal kick to Everton. It's a really, really nice glanced attempt by the number 10. Oh, it's close. It's very close. Great ball by Tielemans. Great effort by Buendia, and it just sails past the left post. And out for an Everton goal kick. 30 seconds left. You just think Everton will send this long. But it has been 100% a deserved 3 points for the Toffees. They played exceptionally well. And that, you feel, will be that. The allotted time has been played. Villa trying to get forward. They can't. Here's Matty Cash. Is tackled. Out for a Villa throw-in. And that, you feel, will be that. Throw-in to Aston Villa. Can they get it forward? Last chance saloon here. No, they can't. That is victory for Everton. Massive 3 points there. Absolutely huge 3 points for Everton. What a performance. What an unbelievable performance away at Villa Park. And yeah, 7 points is the gap at the top of the table. Massive, massive weekend for Arsenal. Anyway, thank you to everyone who has watched the stream today. The stream. It's been a really enjoyable one, really good fun. And yeah, I will see you all in the future. Take care, everyone. Thank you.